Everybody's on their feet, and they all got their money's worth tonight.
Above Lee Vining. There's Mono Lake down there, looking pretty. We're almost climbing up into these snow clouds. This is high.
What do you know? It's snow squalling in mid-May. Look at it out here. Blustery. I'm in a snow squall and it's mid-May. They've got stars painted on the ceiling. It's just a bunkhouse. Couple different rooms of bunks and a bathroom, that's it. Must have been for the mine workers.
For this video, I'm going to try something a little different. I'll give a summary of the mine's history and details on what was mined, because this info is relevant. Then I'll just let the ambient audio that the camera documented play, without me talking over top of it, so that you too can get a sense of being there in person, and just let the place speak for itself.
Here's the grate above the conveyor that feeds into the mill. Drop the ore into here, and then it's going to be taken on this conveyor here, you'll see next, and then it can drop into the mill.
The log cabin mine sits pretty high at an elevation of 9,600 feet. The claim was filed in 1890. And from what I read, its heyday was from about 1910 to 1939, the start of World War II. Gold was the precious metal mined here, and the underground workings extended on 4 different levels, the lowest 400 feet underground.
The snow load has collapsed the roof here, and yeah, they get a lot of snow up here, so I'm not surprised. This is an electrical room. Got a box, 220 volts for the lighting. The mine disconnect box. This one's the main switch disconnect.
Apparently, up to 72 workers could stay at this mine site at a time, and it was a ton of fun to look through all the buildings, from the cookhouse to the hoist house, the framing shed and lumber mill, to the refrigerator cabin for insulated food storage. Winters were very snowy and cold. They reached the mine by snowshoe. What makes this mine unique is they could both mine and process the ore on site.
Hopefully these steps hold up. This is the main guts of the mill. And there's a lot of gears, there's a crusher, there's the orange thing's a hopper, and so the ore is falling in vertically. Look at the size of these chains. Ore would come down through here, be crushed, processed, milled, whatever the terms are. This is an old light fixture, all kinds of equipment and electrical. These timbers hold up. There's more crushing and processing equipment.
An executive order signed by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1942 limited the mining of non-strategic materials because of the war effort. Many mines converted to mining silver, lead, and zinc, but the log cabin mine went into hibernation. The war effort order was lifted 2 years later in 1946, but it was already the beginning of the end for the log cabin mine. Gold was locked at $35 per ounce since 1934. Throughout the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, it was still locked at $35 per ounce. Much of this had to do with financial markets and global monetary trading, which makes my eyes glaze over from boredom. Central banks, the Bretton Woods system, and runs on gold all play a part in this. But inflation and costs to keep the mine running continued to rise, and gold at $35 per ounce was unprofitable. So the mine closed in 1948.
Come get your coffee in the kitchen. 10 to 36 cup automatic coffee maker. Time for coffee break. Storeroom, pantry. The rats or the chipmunks have been making a right mess of these mattresses. This room had a wood stove. This jar says apricot pineapple, June 27th, 83, 42 years ago.
The mine was still maintained for years. Should the price of gold change, it could continue to start right back up again where it left off. Years passed, and seasons came and went. The maintenance caretaker passed away in 1968. Now the log cabin mine was truly concluded.
It's a big snowdrift.
No one around to care for it, and nothing but stillness at this once bustling site.
What are these for? More workshops? This is a big, I guess, group bathroom. There's 3 showers, 4 sinks, a couple toilets, 5 sinks. So I guess this is where after work people, or between shifts, after shifts, people would wash up in here.
Sam.
Let's go see. We got more stairs leading up. Let's go look around the corner. Coming through. This building has multiple levels. It's built into the hillside and has a lower level, middle, and upper as it climbs the slope. Real nice wood panel rooms. There was a wood stove here that's gone. Well, the snow's picked up again. So much for spring. This is the cold storage because of that insulated door. Oh, I see. This was the sawmill. This is where they made their own boards and timber. In this sawmill. That's old. That's super old. There's the motor and the belt which powered the saw. this shack has slid slightly downhill, or it shifted on its foundation. But I'm gonna guess that it was the explosives shack, because there's a no smoking sign and there's no insulation, and you don't need to insulate explosives. The head frame to the mine shaft is about to collapse. Look how much it's leaning. A few of the braces have broken, and it's holding on by half, so that's only gonna last a couple more years. Whoa, just a stool. This is where the hoist operator sat for the mainframe going up and down the mine. Oh, there's a switch. The gloves are still here. And there's a big spool of cable. I'm actually not going to put my hands in those. These operated the gears and the levers to go up and down. Stop, start. Pretty cool. Westinghouse rheostatic controller. Little brush. But wow, what a crazy mine. There is just so much to see here. There's so much that's been left, so much intact. Some of it is starting to get dilapidated and fall down, but you know, what a special spot. It's really too bad. All of the soil around the top of the mainframe here, of the vertical shaft down into the mine, that's all collapsing. And the ground is eroding around the edge, and so we've got this kind of like loose, sketchy, it's eroding down into the mine and it's pulling the building with it, it's pulling the head frame down. That's why it's crooked. It's a real shame because eventually that's going to be compromised. The forces are going to pull it down. Right now it's like the Sarlacc pit under the mainframe. This is the room with the ball mill. They put a steep enough slant on this roof that it's held up this long. And look at these little sections, these little shakers and strainers, little pebbles that stay on top. Finer stuff will fall through. I'd love to find me a gold nugget.
August 15th, 1971, and President Nixon removed the $35 per ounce fixed gold price, but it was too late. The cost of revamping and restarting the log cabin mine would be too great. The land was donated to the Boy Scouts of America, and I think they still have summer camps just up the hill from the mine. Today, the land is part of the U.S. Forest Service, and due to mercury contamination, I saw no efforts to preserve the site for historical value. So the log cabin mine sits, silently looking out over Mono Lake, slowly falling down, little by little, with each passing year.
You know what? Part of me wants to stay the night and camp up here and see the place some more in the morning, but the other part of me wants to go down because it's going to be real cold. It's still snowing. Who knows how much it's going to snow overnight, so I'm just going to head down, but I could stay, you know? Like, part of me does want to stay longer and camp out here overnight, but I'm going to head down. Well, I flew the drone with the one battery I have, and halfway through the flight, it started snow squalling, like pretty decently, because visibility has gone down.